welcome to this lesson where we'll be looking at how you develop your table of contents in your doctoral thesis. Recall again that it's ICT in doctoral thesis from title to thesis. So we're writing up the thesis now, and we want to see how we can go from analog, where you write table of contents by picking up the pages for the different subheads, and how you use ICT, how you use the facility in Microsoft Word to do your table of contents. But before we take that on, I'm going to give you some general hints on writing your doctoral thesis. So let's get back to class. So welcome back to class. As I said in the introduction, we're looking at writing a doctoral thesis and ICT in developing the table of contents. As you can see, we're going to move along this road to the goal, success, where you get your PhD and you are called Dr. Somebody. What are the objectives of this lesson? Two of them again. We're going to provide a general hint. We're going to provide general hints in writing a doctoral thesis, and then give you a practical guide on how to use ICT in developing the table of contents. But before we begin, let me commend you all on your reports on the Head of Course project. You have all done very, very well. As you can see from this course on Head of Course project reports, you can see there are several 90s, 98, 99, Akad, Nduwimana, Clement, Dorisimpa. You can see very, very, very high scores, and the remarks are given on the right. By the way, 3 persons assessed each of the reports, and these are the average scores. That's the mean scores. Let's even try to rank order them to see how many people scored 90. Let's say sort by average score. So let me sort in descending order. So you see, so you can see so many 90, 99, 98, 98. So you have all done very, very, very well. Let's even look at one of the essays that let's see Elvis Nizigama. Let's see Elvis Nizigama's report. Yeah, as you can see from my folder here, these are, let's see, Elvis, where are you? Elvis Nizigama, okay, fine. So this is, I'm loading Elvis Nizigama's report, and you can see what we have here. Let me go to the top. This is titled Language Education Policy in Burundi, an investigation of attitudes towards multilingual education. You have the introduction, you have the literature review, methodology, findings for research question number 1. I really like this. Maybe that's why the assessors, scored him. Two of the assessors scored him 100%. This research question number 1 with the graphs. Research question number 2, research question, the statements, and discussion of results. What we like here is that the results are discussed in reflecting the literature in the area. You can say this is good as according to studies conducted by this. So you have this recommendations, conclusions, and references. So you all did very well, and I'd like to commend you. Yeah, so after the commendation, let's go on to objective number 1. Objective number 1 is to give you general hints on writing a doctoral thesis. I've tried to come up with 10 of them, 10 general hints. The first one, it's not going to be in any order, is that you read other theses in your area from your university and others. By the way, this is supposed to be an thesis, plural, in your area from your university and others. Now, University of Burundi, this is a first doctoral school, so you may not have a thesis to refer to. So who can tell me what you can do? I'm waiting. Yeah, I can hear somebody think that you can just Google your thesis, just to Google thesis in, you then type your area. You're going to get hundreds of these theses which you can read. The second thing is for you to develop, or number two, is to develop a timetable for writing every chapter of the thesis. You will say, okay, I think that you'll be finishing your thesis. Okay, this 2018, 1920. In 1920, sorry, 2020, you may be ready to write your thesis. So you then say, March, I'm going to write introduction. February, sorry, yes, April, May, June, you give a timetable for writing every chapter of the thesis. And then you should create a file for every chapter. In other words, you have a folder or directory in your storage, either hard drive or floppy drive, and then you say chapter 1 as a file, chapter 2, chapter 3, and every time you have a good idea for a chapter which you are not writing at the moment, assume you have a good idea about literature review and you are writing chapter 1. What you need to do is just quickly go to the page in the file, or the file, appropriate file, and then write the thing down. And there, or if you are tired of writing a particular chapter or section, take a short break, and maybe you want to take on some other sections that are not going to be too strenuous, like acknowledgement, like dedication. But acknowledgement, you will continue improving on it because many more people may be acknowledged as your thesis progresses. And if you are very tired, my friend, take a rest. But be sure that every day you write a lot. Number 6, general hints. Please leave the conclusion, the abstract, and the appendices to the end of the writing. And then, more importantly, after doing the draft, you leave time for revising it. You should ask at least 2 people to help you revise it, and after which you do your own review. Do not expect that your supervisor or members of your committee will copy edit your thesis. Let me take that of I think it's Francois, and then you have Professor Shabani be your supervisor. I would not expect that Professor Shabani will be dotting your I's and crossing the T's for you. You are doctoral students. You are aiming to get a PhD. You are aiming to be supervising others. So your supervisor will still edit, but you should take responsibility for doing your own editing. Before turning any draft, you should carefully edit and spell check your work. Now, there are two levels of editing. Micro editing is where you just check for spelling, paragraph, sentence structure, and all of that. And the macro editing, where you look at the overall structure of the thesis, that is ensuring that each chapter flows logically for the previous chapter, the headings and subheadings are used properly and consistently, and transitions are included between major topics. In some cases, you may need to engage a professional editor. Let me tell you what I do as a person. My students know this, my master students, my PhD students. I'm not going to sit down and be correcting your English because I expect that I'm not the secondary school teacher of your English. So you should have improved enough to be able to write something. But not that I absorb the student completely. I still make some efforts to edit things that I found recurring in the thesis. But what I then ask them to do, go and look for somebody who can help you professionally edit because at the end of the day, I will not put my signature on a thesis that has even the slightest error, because the supervisor is also being examined. If I've signed it, people will expect, if Professor Shabani now signs a thesis, and I now say it, oh, Shabani, wow, it must be a classic. And then I begin to see errors, that are unpardonable, spelling errors and all of that. It is not good enough. So you yourself as a student, because you are going to be a supervisor later, also make some efforts. Now, The last one, number 10, is you have to back up the thesis regularly. How sad will it be if after writing your conclusions and you have your thesis in the hard drive of your computer and the thing crashes or somebody steals it? Whoop, that set you back several years. So what you need to do is every time every day, by the way, every day or at the end of every chapter, you should back up. Backup can take several forms. Can you name some forms? I can hear you say copy to a flash drive. Oh yes. Save to your hard drive. Yes. Copy to another computer. Yes. But let me tell you one very nice one that you can do. And I'm going to give you a demonstration of it right now. You should email it to yourself. For instance, if you have a web-based email like Gmail, like Yahoo, like Ymail, Hotmail, just email that chapter to yourself. The thing there is that it stays on the server of that on the cloud in the cloud. Let me show you a quick example. Yeah, so this is a survey I just concluded. Assume it's a thesis. So let me make it big. Oh wow, table of contents. This is what I'm going to be talking about in a minute. So I have executive summary, I have introduction, everything all to the end. Let me take it to the end here. And I have the list of people who responded. Let's assume this is a thesis. Okay, I save it and I close it. Then I go to my email, new email. I then send it to myself. P Okebukola has come up here. I then say survey report. You may type something here or you may not. I may just say saving the survey report. And I attach the file. This is the file. So it's there. And I send. When I send it, it goes to my Yahoo mailbox. And that's where it stays. Let me do it. Let me send it here. Yeah, so I've sent it. So let me go to my Yahoo mail. Let's see. Yeah, Yahoo mail. Where are you? Yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, it's already here. Peter Okebukola survey report, saving this, so it's here. So you can see that. Yeah, so that's the report. Yeah, so that's how you can back up a thesis. Either you copy it to a flash drive or you save it on an external hard drive or another computer, and you can save it to the cloud by emailing it to yourself. That will be sure that you have something somewhere. So that's objective number 1 that we have covered. Let's go to objective number 2. The practical guide on how to use ICT in developing the table of contents. So stand by for a very exciting practical session. So as this course is about ICT in doctoral thesis, from title to thesis, the table of contents is a very important thing that ICT does for you. So this is the table of contents of the article, the paper I just completed. And you have the executive summary, introduction, and all that. So you're going to have the same kind of subheads into chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. How do you not get this in? Now, let me look at the end of course project reports that you submit. Let me just take a handful of them. Let's look at Alois. Okay, Alois Niyonizige, Didactics of French. Okay, you have introduction, you have review de la literature, you have this, you have all of these elements there. Now, how do you turn this into, how do you get a table of contents out of this if it were your thesis? Let's take another one. I think this is by who now? Bonaventure Nikoyandoye, the social support perceived by the students of the National Institute of Public Health in Burundi. You have brief introduction. You have this literature review, or you already have them as headings, fine. But I'm going to just show you a few things that you can do with this. And then let's take Elvis. Where are you? Elvis. Oh, Elvis, this Elvis. So for Elvis, you have title of the study, you have introduction that I showed you the last time. So I'm going to show you some steps in getting the table of contents made using two examples. Use that of Elvis and a lady, any of the ladies in our class. So let's take that of Elvis. The first thing you do will be to note what are your major headings. Let's assume that this one is a chapter 1. I'm going to make this one a chapter 1. Chapter 1, introduction. Then let's assume that this chapter 2, literature review. Chapter 2, literature review. Did I put a colon here? Yes, I did. Chapter 2, literature review. Then you have chapter 3, methodology. Chapter 3, methodology. Chapter 4, findings. Okay, now very good. This is findings for research question number 1. So this could be like let's just leave it like this. If you like, you can make it like 4.1, 4.2. This is findings regarding research question number 2. This is findings. Statement 15. All right. The discussion of results will be a separate chapter. Chapter 4, discussion of results. Chapter 5, recommendations and conclusion. Although you had conclusions first before recommendation. So what do we do? Let's change it for him. Change this one. I'm cutting this. I'm pasting this here. Okay. So we have this as recommendations. Yeah. And then we have this one as conclusion. And then we have the references. Wonderful. So you first of all decide the subheads, the headings, heading levels. So for here we have the first. Okay, this one is just the title, so we don't need to number it. Okay, this is chapter 1. This is our heading 1. Then anything under heading 1 will be heading 2. Anything under heading 2 will be heading 3. But now we don't have anything under introduction, so it's just simply heading 1. Literature review is also heading 1 because it's at the same level as our introduction, because it's a chapter 2 like chapter 1. So it hasn't got subheads. If you have subheads under here, they will be like heading 2, heading 3. Now here, chapter 3. What will this one be? I'm asking you now, class. Okay, I can see somebody telling me it is virtual, telling me virtually. That's also heading 1. All the chapters will be heading 1. Then, chapter 4, what will it be? Also heading 1. But you can see, this is subhead under chapter 4. This one. This is findings. This findings for research question number 2. This will be heading 2. What will this one be? Yes, it's also heading 2. What will this one be? It's also heading 2 because under the results, this one, this is statement 15, will also be heading 2. And then this one, what will it be? It's a heading 1. So simple, very simple. Where you have decided on that, all you need to do is now come back to here. Now watch me very closely. The word that you are using may be different from mine, but they all have essentially the same features. You will see this one there, heading 1, heading 2. We shall be using these two because we only have heading 1, heading 2. If you need heading 3, let me see. Heading 3, heading 3, heading 3. You can create heading 3 yourself, and I'll tell you how. So this is not here. So we just have headings 1 and 2. So what you do is you come here. You just put your cursor on any part here. If you like, you highlight it, and then just click on heading 1. Simple. So it's done. Okay. You now go back here. You keep going. This one is what? This is heading 1. Click on it. It's heading 1. You come here. You come here, get to here. This is also heading 1. You come here. Okay, let me close up this bit. This also heading 1. You come here. What is this? Heading 2. Yeah. So you now keep going down. Keep going down. This is what? Heading 2. You keep coming. You keep coming. You keep coming. You do that for every heading that you have identified yourself in your thesis. This is what? Heading 2. Okay. What about this one? This one is heading what? Heading 1. Yeah, so discussion of results is that. And then you go down here. Chapter 5 is also heading 1. So recommendations will of course be heading 2. I'm still going to leave spaces here, and you will see in a minute. Conclusion will be heading 2. References, let's take it to be heading 1. Okay, fine. So that's all done. If you have appendices, it will be like heading 1, heading 2. Okay. So what else? What's the next thing? You then go to where you want the table of contents to be. That's why I have put some space here. You want the table of contents to be here. Actually, let's cut this and put it under here. That's Elvis. Yes. Title, we don't need to put this one there. We can just do this and center it. Yeah, that's it. So usually you want the table of contents to appear before the before your first chapter. So if you see how I did mine, I have the contents after. You see, I have this title, I have my name, and then I have this. That's the table of contents that I have here. So I'm thinking that you could do the same at your. Yeah. So we're going to put. You just decide on where you are going to put the table of contents. I think it can be here. What do you think? Yeah, it can be here. So how then do you do it? It's a very simple 2-step process. Step number 1 is for you to look at your version of Word where you have. That's why ICT in writing thesis, ICT. Because if you do not have this, you are now going to be doing it manually. Chapter 1, you see it's on page 1. Here, let me even put the pages. Let me center the pages. No. Yeah, okay, I've centered the pages here, the page number. So you go to be now, if you are going to do it manually, you then say chapter 1. You type it here, chapter 1. Introduction. Page 1. Chapter 2. Literature review. Page. Of course, you can do it like a table page, whatever. Where's literature review? Chapter 2, page 2. And on like that. This is manual. This is 18th century. But ICT has come to help us. So see what is going to happen. This is where I want to have the table of contents. And then please check your Word for your Word version. For mine, it is just references, and you can see table of contents, and it gives you different formats. This is automatic table 1, automatic table 2. Let's look at automatic table 1. Yeah. So you see it. It's there. Simple. It does it for you automatically. Chapter 1, introduction, page 1. Chapter 2, that's what I was trying to do manually. So it's done it here for you. And you can also format this. And I'm going to show you how to format it in a minute. Now, let me keep this and come to here. Excuse me. You have chapter 1. This chapter 2. Chapter 3, you need some space here. Yes, like this. Chapter 4, you need some space here. Or maybe you want each of these to appear as on a separate page, because that's what is going to happen in your thesis. You are going to have the thing in a separate, let's see what you have there. Yeah. Chapter 1, let's even do it like this. Chapter 1 is separate page, or separate, yeah, a new page, excuse me, new page. Yeah, like this. Chapter 2, new page. Listen to me, class. You are going to now resubmit your end of course project report by way of the assignment for this week. What do I mean? What I mean is that all of you here, Abonima, Generala, Kayond, Koyejo, Menos, Bambasi, you have to resubmit. Let's look at this. You have to resubmit your project reports, and you have to do a table of contents. So you better listen carefully as I conclude this practical exercise. As I said, I will take another person, another report to show you how this is done. So let's get back to work. Yeah, so let's see. No, this goes on like this. We're still continuing with this. Oh, I can see. You use tables. Ooh, how did you do that? Why should you do that? Why should you do that? Convert to text. Elvis, how do you use tables for here? Okay, fine. So chapter 2 literature review will come to another page, a new page, by the way. Chapter 3, a new page. Chapter 4, a new page. Yeah, this goes on. This is subhead for chapter 4. Goes on, goes on, goes on, goes on. It goes on like that. I hope you are following. Chapter 4, a new page. Oh, I thought we had discussion. Oh yeah, discussion of results is a different thing. So you got to create a line there. And then chapter 5, a new page. So this has to come down a little. So this formatting is important to make your thesis look nice. The references can come on a new page, or you can stay here. I think you can stay here. So you can see that we have changed the pages. So you have to now go back here. That is why ICT in writing doctoral thesis is important for table of contents that we are doing this week. So table of contents, page introduction. Look at the introduction. Look at literature review. Literature review is, we had it as page 2. Now introduction has actually gone on to page 2 from page 1. Literature review has gone on to page 3. So let me get back to the top here. What do you need to do? All you need to do is to update the table of contents. Just click anywhere here, and you can see update. Let me do it again. Just click anywhere here, and you see update table. Now listen very carefully. What you'll do, you can see this thing here. Just click on. Let me make it bigger. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Okay. Anyway, so click on here. It will ask you 2 questions. Word is updating the table of contents. Select one of the following options. That may give it will give you 2 options. Update page numbers only, or update entire table. Now, because we have not changed any subhead here, we just say update page numbers only. I'll say okay. So there you can see it has changed introduction to page 2, this to page 3. So you can see how lovely, how lovely. So you can see format this. You can just highlight all of this. You know it is bold. You can do anything, anyone. You can change the font. If your university says let's be Times New Roman, you change to Times New Roman. If this is bold, you can make it, so you can see you can do all manner of modifications to this. Now let's go to this one here. You notice that this is Cambria. That is what the people who develop Word made it to be. But your university is saying you want all of this in Times New Roman. So you can just go to here, just highlight this, You can see it has come with style. Look at it. You can come with style, or you just double click on this. Okay, so it's already done. So you click on this. You go to style. Let me do it again. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to change this to anything you want it to do, to change to. And you can modify it, and it's going to, so you go to style, then you go to heading 1, you go to here, you can see create style, clear formatting, and apply style. So let me go to apply style. You can see reapply for heading 1 or modify. Now I want to modify it. So I go to modify. I want it to be Times New Roman. So you can change. You can see it has changed to Times New Roman. And I want to, maybe if you want to put a line at the bottom of it, so you can put a line here. I can say okay. Now listen very, very carefully to me. Look at this dialog box. If I say okay, this is going to change heading 1. But you must click on this. Please, please, please click on automatically update. So I'm clicking automatically update. This is a very important thing for you to note in this lesson. Say okay. So close this. You can see it has changed this one to Times New Roman. Wonderful. ICT in Doctoral Thesis Writing. This is a wonderful course. It has underlined it. Now go to chapter 2. It has also underlined it. So you can see it has changed everything because we asked it to automatically update. You can see research question number 2. The sub heading number 2. Yeah, so this heading number 2, you can see it here, heading number 2. Now, another interesting thing, although you won't need to use it in your thesis, but if you are formatting a document for printing and you want this one to be read, let me tell you what you can do. Just put it anywhere here, not necessarily to highlight it here, although you can do style of that. But you can see heading number 2, here. If you right click heading number 2, I'm right clicking on it now. What can you see? Update, modify, select, rename. Just click on modify. And then you want this to be red. Change it. Let's take this red. Yep, okay, this red. And then what else do you want to do? Want to change it to Times New Roman? What else do you want to do? You must click on automatically update. So you click on this and see it has changed it to red. Fantastic. The next one has changed it to red. Yeah, it has changed it to red. So you then save it. I'm doing Control S, so you save here. So back to this place. What do you want to do? Let's yeah, very good. I forgot to mention something. Let's assume that you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you can you see we made an error. See the error we made. Chapter 4 findings. Chapter 4 discussion of results. Chapter 5 recommendations. You can see this. This will have been 5. This will have been 6. So we go back to it. To get back to here, all you need to do is just do this to take you there, or you go there physically. This should be chapter 5, and then this will be chapter 6. So you can see we have modified something here. So when you go to the table of contents, just click anywhere and you see update table. Just click on update table here. Update page numbers only. No. We don't want you to update page numbers only. We want you to update the entire table. So I'm clicking on this one here. See what's going to happen. Introduction, literature review, methodology. You can see it has changed this one to 5. It has changed this one to 6. So it has come back with a bold, which you want to modify if you like, or you can leave it. So if you want to modify it, you can just highlight here. Change it to Times New Roman, anything you want, not necessarily follow and change it to normal like this. So that is it, and then you save it. So that's the thing. So if you look at, let me minimize this. So if you look at this thesis, you already have the table of contents, you have introduction, you have literature review, methodology, and all of that. So let's do the second one very, very quickly. So who is waiting for us to, okay, Mpambasi is here. So this is Mpambasi. So first thing you do, as I said, number one, is to identify those things that, I mean, your subheads. So this one will be subhead 1, heading 1. You can see it's now different, but we are going to modify it. Brief introduction, literature review, heading 2, heading 1, yes. Going on. Methodology, heading 1. Findings, heading 1. There, discussion of results, heading 1. Recommendations and conclusion, heading 1. Very simple. References, also heading 1. So what do you need to do? You go to the top where you want to put your table of contents. As I said, this can be like this. Title of study, we can take this like this. And put the name here. And then we want to put our table of contents here. So what do? Can you recall that I said you will check where the table of contents is in your own version of Microsoft Word? For me, it is references, table of contents, and I choose this. So simple, you can see it. Contents, brief introduction, literature review, this. As simple as that. But you can make this better. Brief introduction cannot be number 3. This cannot be like that. And maybe you want this one to change. So what to do is, that's the third step. Step number 1, identify and put your subheads. Number 2 is insert your table of contents. Number 3 is modify the format. Just format the way you like it. So let's go back to this. Now this one, we can just say 1. Brief introduction. Okay. Let's do it for all of them. Let's put a different page. This one. 2. So this assignment you are going to submit to me by the end of this week. This is 3. This is 4. That should be, excuse me. We'll take it to be a different page. Methodology, a different page. Because we are doing a different page because in your thesis, they will appear as separate chapters. This one. This is 4. Oh, is it 5? Okay, 4. Well, we'll modify. We'll change that later. 6. Oh, it's correcting me. Why not? 6. Okay. All right. So let's go to the top, and we come here. Just click anywhere here, and then just say update table. We want to update entire table. So you can see this is 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see it has changed to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 is being repeated because of the error I made. So you can go back to this 4 and change this one to is it 5 now? Okay. The other one will change automatically to 6. Oh, it's not. Am I doing the correct thing? Okay, let me just check. 4 is okay. Actually, discussion of results is 5. Okay, that's fine. 6, 7. Okay, that's fine. So let's go to this place. Click anywhere, update table, update entire table, and that's it. Okay, I see the point now. This is also giving me this. I made the error again. This should be 4. 4. 5, yes. 6, yes. 7, yes. So we're getting there. Click anywhere, update table, update entire table. Yeah, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's table of contents. But I don't like this to be capital. All this one's capital. So you have to now come back and change this one to let's see, capitalize this one. Yeah, like this. This is better. Brief introduction. Yeah, what I've just done is just capitalize each word. You can type them all by yourself. And then this one. This one. So you may wonder what I'm doing. You can just type it yourself. I'm just using a shortcut, which is also in Word, which you can find out yourself. Discussion of results. Sorry, please. Recommendation and conclusion. Yes. So you see, if you don't want this shortcut, all you do is type it yourself. Recommendation and conclusion. So that's it. Yeah. So we're going up again. What are we to do? Let's actually make this one center, and this one. Put this one capital P. Refugees in Burundi. Yeah, that's it. So we can actually make this one not to be bold. We can put a line under it. Aha, wonderful. It's having its number on top there. It doesn't matter. So what we will do, we'll click anywhere here, update table. Okay, that's taking the entire thing. So you can see this looks better. But I've not done references, so let me do references. So click anywhere here, update table. You can see I click towards the edge here to give me this. Update entire table. Yeah, so that's it. So before we go, I don't like this. I don't like the font. I don't like that it's not bold. So what we will do, you can do exactly what we learned when we're doing that of Elvis. You click on this, you can see heading 1. Heading 1. I want to modify heading 1. So you right click here, and you can see modify. Yes, so I think the first thing you must do, not to forget, is just automatically update. And then, let's see the format. I want Times New Roman. I want it to be bold. And I want it to, what else do you want? Maybe that should be all. Or if you want to increase the font size, you just increase it maybe to 18. You can see it's bigger now. And then you say, okay. So you can see it as is bold. You can see it has changed everything. Oh, this is wonderful. I like ICT in writing doctoral thesis. Very, 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 very good. So you can see that's how you do it. So you now come back to here and then say, you can see it has also changed table of contents, but I don't want table of contents to have a number. So you can just say no number. Okay, fine. So go to here, update entire table, and that's it. Okay, you can see it has messed up the thing again. It has taken off the contents. Okay. Let's see what it has done. Okay, that's taken off the number for introduction, brief introduction. Well, you can take it back. 1, 2. So you just keep improving on it until you get exactly what you want. So 2, 3, 4, or if you like, I just say chapter 4, chapter 5, 5, 6, yes, 7, good. All right. So we're going up, click here, go to here, go to update entire table. So you can see the contents, because we have named this one. What you can do is just come here. If you want to delete any part of it, you just come here, and then delete it. So that's it. Very nice. So you can see that's how you do the table of content. Yeah, so what have we learned in this lesson? Well, we had some hints about writing a doctoral thesis. 10 hints that I shared with you. And I also walked you through a practical guide on how to use ICT in developing the table of contents. So it's bye for me for now. Peter Okebukola. I look forward to seeing you during the next lesson. Enjoy your time.